Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'll be solving questions from chapter 3. So I'll be solving question number 1. So here's the question, you can read it. Okay, after that you are going to create your project. Click on next. So you have to name your project. So it's about quadratic equation. So it's going to be quadratic equation and finish. Okay, so after creating the project, because we'll be needing an input from the user, we have to import the scanner class. I need this code and I need this one as well. Alright, so I'm just going to use the scanner like this. So we'll be needing an input from the user. So I'm going to print a message to the user saying that input the value of A, B, and C. So I'm going to do the first line and then I'll copy and paste because they are all similar. So enter the value of A. So that's the first one. So after getting the value, you have to store it into a variable, and that variable is going to be double, and then we call it A. So double A is equal to an input. So the rest of the line is going to be these two. So I'm just going to copy and paste it and just change the values. So this one is going to say enter the value of B, and then we are going to store it in a variable called B. And this one is going to be C, store it in a variable C. So we are done with the first part. The second part is we have to define the discriminant as well. So it's going to be a double. So the discriminant is equal to what? B squared minus 4AC. So that's going to be, then put it in brackets as B multiplying B minus 4 multiplying A multiplying C. So this is the value of the discriminant. After that, you have to define the values of R1 and R2. So R1 element is double. So R1. From the above, you can see that R1 is equal to minus B plus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all divided by 2. So I'm going to put everything into brackets. So minus B, that's going to be minus B plus the square root of B squared minus 4AC is the same as the discriminant. And if you want to use the square root, then you have to use the math function, that is math dot power, which is the same as power. Now you have to give two values. The first value, which is a, is going to be the one within the square root. So that value is the discriminant. So I'm just going to copy the discriminant from here. You can type it if you want. Oops. You can type it if you want, but I'm just going to copy and paste. Now the second value is going to be the square root, and a square root is simply 1 divided by 2, and 1 divided by 2 is just 0.5, so it's going to be 0.5. Now all of this is divided by 2a, so I'm going to divide it by 2a and I put it into brackets. 2 multiplying a. So we are done with this one. Now the second r is going to be r2, and it's going to be the same. The only difference is going to be this sign here is going to be minus. So I'm just going to copy this line and then paste it. And I'm just going to change the values. So it's going to be r2, and here is going to be minus. Simple as that. So you don't need to write the whole line. You can just copy and paste, and then you're good to go. Now we are done with all the variables. Now we have to use if statements. If, and our condition is the discriminant. So if the discriminant is positive, so that means if it is greater than 0, what should we print? Says if the discriminant is greater than 0, then the equation has 2 real roots. So I'm going to print to the user that the equation has 2 real roots, and I'm going to print the root. So that's going to be r1 and I'm going to add r2. So these are the values r1 and r2. Now what is the second condition? It's going to be else. It's going to be out of this bracket. Let me clean this line. So else if the discriminant is equal to 0, so you are going to use 2 equal sign, not 1. Okay, so if the discriminant is equal to 0, what are we going to print? We are going to print to this that the equation has only 1 real root. So the equation has no real roots. So I'm going to print that root, and it's going to be r1. Now, what is the third condition? The third condition says that if the discriminant is negative, then the equation has no real root. So we don't need another condition. So I'm just going to say else, and I'm going to print to the user that the equation has no real roots in it. So that's it. So this is what you need. Now let's run the program and see whether we can get the values. Okay, so let's start. Okay, it says enter the value of a. So let's enter a value of 1. Let's enter the value of b so that you can get positive. Let's use a bigger number. Let's use 4. and enter the value of C. Let's choose 1. So this one is going to be positive, and then we must have 2 roots. So you see that the equation has 2 real roots, that is R1, so this is the first root, and R2, this is the second root. Now let's run it again, and this time let the discriminant to be 0, okay? So for us to get 0, let's enter A to be 1 and B to be 2, because 2 squared is equal to 4, so 2, and C is also 1 because 4 times 1 times 1 is the same as 4. 4 minus 4 is equal to 0, so we must have only one real root. So the equation has only one real root, and that is R2. Now let's see if the discriminant is 0. So enter the value of A. If the discriminant is negative, so A should be a bigger number, let's use 4, and B should be less, let's use 2, and C 2. In this case, the discriminant is going to be negative, so the only message that should appear in the console is that the equation has no real roots. See, the equation has no real roots, and that's it. So this is the code. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.